This is the most exciting part of the program so far for me. Get excited. Make yourself feel spontaneously excited. Start to feel some anticipation because something very cool and very unexpected is about to happen. Everyone's clapping and you're laughing. I like that. That's good. Our next guest is someone that teaches workshops to men and women and couples on spirituality, yoga, sexuality. She has worked with Tony Robbins, and she has done a lot of work with David Deida, who's the author of this book that I've held up a couple of times, The Way of the Superior Man. And she's going to share some very interesting stuff with you and with me. So stand up and give a big round of applause to Amber Lupton. Let me just come right here. Okay, there you go. Amber's been sitting in the back a little bit there, observing the room. What do you guys think of the idea of having a woman here talking? Interesting, huh?
Wow.
Exciting, huh? You know what? You have to move this over here. That's totally wrong. I just wanted to be able to watch.
Is this part of the program?
Yes, it is. How are we doing there? Can you hear? Good. All right. So Amber's a good friend of mine, and we kind of had a real connection when we met because we both kind of teach a lot of the same kinds of things and yet not the same kinds of things at all. Exactly. And she's brought a lot to my life. I told her recently that it's very interesting to me to have a friend like her because she brings a lot of value to me personally, to my life, and to my understanding of man-woman relationships. And she's one of the few women that I've met that has really helped me evolve as a person. And so I thought that she should come here and, because a lot of this program, like I explained, I'm sharing a lot of the things that have helped me evolve, a lot of the processes that I've used. And since she's one of the processes I've used, I thought we'd have her here to talk a little bit. So we thought we'd maybe just have a little discussion, and then maybe she'd share with you some concepts and some ideas. And I thought maybe you could start by talking a little about the concept of, I talked to the guys about being on their own path or their own purpose, getting in touch with their own masculine energy and the depth. And from a woman's perspective, from a woman who's in touch with women and teaches a lot of women and gets their perspective, and also a woman who understands these concepts, I thought it would be, interesting to hear a woman's perspective on those topics. What's it like to be with a man who is in touch with his deepest purpose? And what's it like to be around a man who isn't? And what's it like for other women?
Women can feel masculine integrity. You can have all these notions in your head or concepts, or you're applying things from this weekend. Women are very attuned to subtleties that the masculine body may not necessarily feel. So she can actually feel, whether she's conscious of it or not, how much integrity you've had in your business and with the last few women you've dated. So how clear you've been with them, with your intentions, she can feel it. She picks up on it subtly. So the clearer that you are in your life on what you're up to and how every woman who's in front of you fits into that, the more attraction and power you will have in the world and with women. What's actually trustable in business, women find sexy. Your level of integrity with your word, your level of integrity with agreements, how much you're willing to feel her heart and have total integrity with her, she'll know, and she'll know your whole history just by feeling you. She can be the most unconscious woman in Los Angeles, and she can feel it. She may not be able to put words to it, but she'll know. And how she responds to you will depend on that.
Now, I'm curious, what is it about a man who is on his path, is on his purpose? As a woman, what do women feel from that? Because you say that she can feel it, and it's sexy, and it's powerful. What do you feel?
Well, being with a man who's very clear on his purpose, and it shows up in the body, it shows up in his breath, it shows up in how he speaks to her, causes a huge relaxation. And being with a man who's very clear with me, with any woman, and he's clear in his body, causes a huge amount of relaxation in a feminine body, innately. It just happens. I'm going to do something with David here, just to demonstrate this for women, the effect. So his left foot is out here, his other foot's out to the side, but he has a certain level of openness in the front of his chest. His hands are here. So David actually has a certain level of bodily congruence that's going to be trustable to women. It doesn't matter what he does in the world. It doesn't matter any of his history. There's going to be a level of trustability that he has to any woman. Now, just bring your feet together about hip width apart in front of you. Spread them out a little bit.
Like this?
A little bit, and then just a little closer.
Okay.
Do you see that those are just a few inches? I just had to move a few inches, but even the difference of his legs being out like here feels like, from a woman, feels like he's not paying attention. Or this feeling like, okay, I'm just going to be really straight with you. Do you guys all want me to be really straight with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Lay it on.
Is there anyone who just wants me to hold back and,
No, lay it
all right,
on.
I just want to know. Okay. This here looks like you're a tight ass and you're stiff in bed.
So to speak.
Okay? Not in a good way.
The bad stiff.
This says, if I see a man like this, I think, okay, he's tight with his money, his pelvis isn't open, he can't have sex with me the way I really want to have sex. Just from this. Which is the openness of his legs, his pelvis is open. I'm feeling the relaxation of the lower half of his body, which tells me he's rooted in the lower half of his body and will have more of a sensitivity to my heart and my body.
Okay. Now, I realize you probably have never heard anything like this before, okay? Did you hear what she said? Spontaneously. This is stuff that comes up for women. It happens to them spontaneously. Mm-hmm. She's translating worlds that are usually never available consciously to you or to the woman. Happens spontaneously.
Can everyone just do this for me, just for my personal enjoyment and entertainment? Everyone just sit up in your chair. Just sit up. Put your legs about hip width apart. Breathe into your belly, just one inhale. Notice where your hands are. Notice if you're kind of leaning over to the side like this, or, you kind of want to do this exercise. You're like, what is this woman talking about? Your legs kind of over. These things are powerful. You can turn on a woman without ever saying a word to her, just by the congruency of your body. You can be a yoga instructor, CEO, multi-billionaire, able to offer her anything. But if you can't feel her heart and feel how just your body awareness affects her, she will not be satisfied in the short term or the long term. She might use you for whatever you can offer in this moment, but unless you're willing to feel and be sensitive to a feminine domain that is much more sensitive than maybe the world that you live in, ultimately she will not be fulfilled. Just being up here on stage, if I'm speaking to a group of women here, if I start fidgeting